Good morning, beloveds. Light's a little weird today. So, Hurricane Laura wiggled back to the east. So, if, which means Houston is completely and totally safe. We may get some pop-up showers later today, but, however, it has been on land in Louisiana for 8 hours, and it is still a Category 2. It is still a very serious storm. We are definitely treating for our brothers and sisters in the extreme east of Texas in Louisiana. Now that it's daylight, they're going to start to see she made it up to a Cat 4. But that is not what you were here for. That is merely an update on what's going on, and I am going to, outside of wondering what my cat is up to, it is August 27th. I'm pretty sure it's Thursday, and our title today, outside of me having to go get okay. Like I said, cat. Our title today is I am bountifully supplied from divine substance. Okay. You hear a crash in the background? It's a cat. Okay. I'm going to start over. It is August 27th. It is Thursday. Our title is I am bountifully supplied from divine substance. Life fills all space, and spirit animates every form. But since you are an individual, even the spirit cannot make the gift of life unless you accept it. Life may have given everything to you, but only that which you accept is yours to use. Turning from every objective fact to the divine presence that dwells within you is turning from conditions to causes. It is turning from the relative to the calm of absolute. It is turning from the relative to that realm of absolute being that through self-knowingness creates the forms. It projects into the experience it creates. Thus, the spirit comes to self-fulfillment in everything. Through the manifestation of the power that is within you, you can project any objective experience you may legitimately desire. Be certain that you are accepting this truth, that you are living in joyous expectation of good, that you are accepting abundance. Say, today I recognize the abundance of life. I animate everything in my experience with this idea. I remember only the good. I accept only the good and expect only the good. I give thanks that this good is flowing in ever-increasing volume. I do not withhold good from myself or others, but proclaim the spiritual substance is forever flowing to each and all as daily supply. My apologies. She's gotten herself trapped now. Okay, I admit, this one's a hard one. We are finishing up the month of vitality, and, okay, let's try this. Life fills all space, and spirit animates every form. So we're going to start with the premise that life is all there is. No. Okay, life fills all space, and spirit animates every form. Basically, think about it this way. Consciousness goes all the way down. To the very micron, whatever the quantum particles are, spiritual consciousness goes all the way down. So they are conscious at that tiny little level. Spirit is everywhere because everything is made from spirit. But since you are an individual, even the Spirit cannot make the gift of life unless you accept it. So, you are an individual. You have a choice whether or not you want to accept the gift that Spirit is offering to you. That's called free will. Life may have given everything to you, but only that which you accept is yours to use. That's one of the reasons why we ask, how big is your container? If your container is not big enough, then there's good flowing all around you, but you're not getting it because you haven't accepted that it is yours. Do not turn that into a spiritual bypass where you're beating yourself up because you don't have everything you need. It's a call to you to do your work, to figure out what it is you need to do so that you can recognize the good around you and use the good that is available to you. Okay? It is not a judgment. It is what work do you need to do. Turning from every... Okay, this is where I'm throwing myself. Turning from every objective fact to the divine presence that dwells within you is turning from the conditions to the cause. Okay. I think I'm thrown by the language turning from. So, i.e., we can talk about the coronavirus. We acknowledge that the coronavirus is real. We acknowledge that it can be very harmful for some people. That is an objective fact. So we have looked the coronavirus in the face and said, okay, and now we are going to turn to the divine presence and say, well, what is it that we're going to say? Oh, okay, all right, the cause. We are going to turn to the divine presence and say, bliss body, that in my divine experience, I don't have to have this experience, or if I am having this experience, I can get through this experience. Yeah, I picked a really hard example, I'm sorry. So we have the option of turning to the divine presence and saying, all right, this is not an experience that I'm going to choose. I am going to choose my spiritual blueprint of a perfectly whole, healthy, functioning body. And I am going to choose that for myself and everyone else. And as that acceptance moves through the world, then maybe we can lessen the cases of coronavirus. That may not be the best example. I'll work on it. It is turning from the relative to the realm of absolute being that, through self-knowingness, creates the forms it projects into the experience it creates. There's a whole lot of words in that sentence. We are turning from the relative to the realm of the absolute being. The absolute being, and he uses capitals on absolute and being. Through self-knowingness, knowing myself, creates the forms it, spirit, projects into the experience it creates. I got nothing. I'm going to have to think about that one. We'll come back to that maybe. What I'll do is I'll bookmark it and write a talk on it. Thus, the Spirit comes to self-fulfillment in everything. Through the manifestation of the power that is within you, you can project any objective experience you may legitimately desire. Remember that he uses the word legitimate desire because it's got to be in the service of good, in the service of kindness, in the service of compassion. It's got to be in the service of life. If your desires are not in the service of life, then Spirit is not going to... That's a twisted use of spiritual power. I'll put it there. Be certain that you are accepting this truth, that you are living in joyous expectation of good, that you are accepting abundance. Okay. Be certain that you are accepting this truth. You are accepting the truth of the divine presence. You are accepting the truth of the abundance. You're accepting the truth of spirit being all there is. You're accepting the truth of good. And you are living in joyous expectation of good. There's no power greater than gratitude, and gratitude makes everything better. That you are accepting the abundance. Okay, so the treatment is, today I recognize the abundance of life. I animate everything in my experience with this idea. I remember only the good. I accept only the good and expect only the good. Okay, I remember only the good. I accept only the good. Meaning, when somebody is trying to hand you something that isn't good, then you feel free to say no. And expect only the good. Why not think that everything is right? We're so busy preparing for what could go wrong. Why occasionally we need to think about what could go right. Actually, we should be focused. We should prepare, but focus on what could go right. I give thanks that this good is flowing in ever increasing volume. I do not withhold good from myself or others. I do not withhold good from myself or others. If you are praying for good for others, accept it for yourself. If you are praying for good for yourself, know that you are also praying good for everyone else, because we're all one. But proclaim the spiritual substance is forever flowing to each and all as daily supply. Ugh. Alright. I admit this one was a hard one. I'm going to go back and think about it. Alright, beloveds. Our mission, should we choose to accept it today, is to recognize the abundance of life. I am bountifully supplied by the divine substance. Every now and again, I'm going to have one where I'm just not, and today I just feel like I need to do more work on that one. So I will come back to that one. I hope you do too. Please, if you do not have a copy of The 365 Science of Mind by Ernest Holmes, please do. Because there are going to be days, like today, that you're going to go, I'm not sure about that one. I'm going to have to do some more research and some more work. But what I am going to say is, do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself today. I would, again, encourage you to send some prayer and treatment work to East Texas, Beaumont, and Lake Charles, and pretty much all of Louisiana right now. Laura is still over there being a Cat 2, Category 2 hurricane. So we just need her to reduce and move on. And take that rain to places that need it. And the wind can. So do something that engages your mind and your body today. Please open the windows of your soul and allow that breath of heaven to come in. To know that you are in heaven now. And that we send that the peace and the comfort of heaven to those who have been affected by the storm. Reverend David will be on with you around 5 p.m. today. I will be back with you at 9 a.m. tomorrow. And please know that you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased. Always and forever. All the good that God is available to you. God is merely waiting on you to ask. And recognize that it is available. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day. Do what you need to do to make it a fantastic day.